All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show with a little 49er video as CJ West signs his contract. It's a 4-year deal. We'll discuss CJ West coming up next. One of the most exciting 49er draft picks in years, in my opinion, CJ West. And of course, we're brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out. They're in Emeryville. They're in Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. We're also brought to you by Mancini's Sleep World, as you can see with their logo on the screen. I love Mancini's. They've got the best price guarantee. They'll match the lowest price you can find. They've got their 365-night comfort guarantee, which means you get a full year to try it out. And they have free next-day delivery. So if you've been thinking about upgrading your bed, now is the time. Make sure you use the code KRUG10 at checkout, and you'll save an additional 10%. Once again, that's KRUG10, K-R-U-E-G 10 at checkout at any of Mancini's locations or online at sleepworld.com. Well, it is official. The 49ers have signed CJ West, and it's a 4-year deal for the newest 49er defensive lineman. I really like CJ West. I think CJ West has got a ton of talent. I really do think that he's a major talent. He's a guy that I think is going to be a force on the 49er defensive front right away. And he's a good football player. This guy started at Kent State. He's 6'1", 317 pounds, 320 roughly, 31.5-inch arms, so not long arms, 9 3/4-inch hands, which doesn't really tell you anything about the hand strength, because the hand strength is what separates this player. I saw him in Frisco, Texas, at the some of the highlights leading into the East-West Shrine game, which was played there in Frisco, Texas, and this guy totally dominated. He's a Chicago kid. He's from Chicago, Illinois. He ran 4.95 in the 40, 1.73 on the 10-yard split, 33-inch vertical. Started out at Kent State, played at Kent State in 2020, played 3 games as a reserve. Then 2021, the COVID year, he played in 14 games, 13 starts. I guess that was 2020 was probably the COVID year. And he had 8 tackles for loss and 4 sacks in 2021. 2022, he starts 10 games, 4.5 TFLs and 1 sack. 2023, he was third-team All-MAC, started all 12 games, 2 sacks, a forced fumble, 7 TFLs, and then transferred to Indiana and was honorable mention All-Big Ten. His 1 year at Indiana, played in all 13 games, 10 starts, 42 tackles, 7.5 TFLs, 2 sacks, a PBU, and a forced fumble. This guy's a good football player, man. He's just such a good football player. 5th-year senior, this final year at Indiana, and just a full-time starter at Kent State, and then 1-year starter at Indiana. And, you're talking about a guy who really has a lot of the traits you're looking for. He does the dirty work inside. He's got great hand quickness. He's got good foot quickness. Right now, he's not even getting off the ball consistently. And I'm not sure why. I think it has to do with maybe not wanting to jump off sides. Maybe it's safe to wait a half tick. He wins anyway at the collegiate level, despite not winning off the snap and not getting a good get off the ball on each play. They'll teach him to get off the ball. Chris Kasarik will hammer that home, and I think it will make him immensely better as a football player. This guy's won pretty consistently at the college level, despite not getting off the ball with any consistency at all. But he's got great quick feet, great strong upper body. He can diagnose the play quickly, keeps his eyes in the backfield. Doesn't have great length, plays with great leverage, though, at the point of attack. And I like him. I think he's scheme versatile. I think he can play in a one-gap scheme and get up the field like the Niners are going to ask him to do, but I think he could also play in a 2-gap scheme and control both gaps and be a 2-gapper. The sack totals are not huge, but that's a lot of it because he's not getting off the football. This guy's got the athletic ability to compete as a rusher on, one-on-one blocks. I thought he was a major steal for the 49ers. They took him at their first pick on day 3 in round 4. And, this guy's got everything you want. He works his way into the gaps on stretch plays and disrupts the play. He gets penetration into the backfield. He can ragdoll the center. He's quick to read and react. He's got quick feet. He can maneuver in tight quarters. He plays the game on his feet. That's what I like. He doesn't go to the ground. I mean, he plays the game on his feet. He's going to get better as a pass rusher. Right now, I think he's much more of a run defender than a pass rusher because he doesn't get off the ball with any consistency, but eventually he's going to. And I think at that point, you're really going to like what you see. I'm going to share the screen here, and you can see a little bit of CJ West in action, courtesy of Twitter. This is Kyle Posey who puts this out, and he said CJ West spent 76% of his time at nose tackle, lined up over the center. He says, my guess is he's playing the DJ Jones role, and Alfred Collins takes over for Hargrave. We'll find out. I think they're both guys that could play either the 1 or the 3 technique. And here is West and against Notre Dame in the playoff. And, what you see here is you see a guy who, gets through his guy, gets a little combo blocked and still gets penetration and throws down Love in the backfield. I think that's Julian Love. So, I mean, this to me is what really is impressive about CJ West. He's got great strength that is on his hands, very, very powerful at the point of attack, but he also has the lateral agility and the vision on the ball carrier to slide up and down the line of scrimmage and make plays in the A-gaps or even outside the A-gaps. So there you go, a little taste of him. We'll stop sharing it there, but there's another clip that I kind of want to show you guys as well of CJ. And, CJ is in this next clip it's just a practice clip. And this is courtesy of Coach Yak's Twitter account. We'll share the screen and show you what Coach Yak put out. He's got a little video of Bosa and CJ West getting off the ball and rushing the passer a little bit. Here it is. First, I think it's Bosa. Oh, no, here's CJ. There he is. Number 9. He's wearing number 99. Here's Bosa on the outside. But once again, CJ. I mean, and he, to me, I love the way this guy practices with a lot of intensity. He's working on his footwork between reps. You see that quite a bit. He's like somebody else is getting a rep and CJ's off on the side, kind of working his footwork and his trying to tie his feet and hands together. I really like this player. I just think when you look at the kind of player that CJ West has the potential to be, he could be very, very disruptive up front. And if we take a peek at the 49er depth chart and just kind of look at what they have on the defensive line, I think there's a very good chance that CJ West winds up starting for the 49ers right away. I think he's probably the best pick they had. Let's take a look at their depth chart. Here's their depth chart. And, you get a feel if we scroll down here on the depth chart a little bit and you can take a look at the defensive line. So here it is right here, the defensive line. And right now they have, and this is meaningless, but they have Mikael Williams and Bosa, Jordan Elliott, and Alfred Collins starting. And they have CJ West backing up. I personally think it's probably going to be Nick Bosa, Mikael Williams, CJ West, and Evan Anderson on first down. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it will be the veteran Jordan Elliott, but I don't think so. I think it will be Evan Anderson. I think Anderson's going to play inside and play that 1 technique, and West, I think, is going to play the 3 technique. That would be my guess. Chris has got options here. But if you look at the interior, you've got Jordan Elliott, Alfred Collins, CJ West, Kevin Givens, Kalia Davis, Evan Anderson, and Sebastian Valdez. I think Valdez, they're probably going to wind up keeping 5. They're going to keep Collins and West and Anderson. So those 3. And then basically Elliott and Givens, Kalia, and Valdez will go for 2 spots, most likely. And Valdez has looked really good. So I'm interested to see, and Evan Anderson definitely looks stronger than he looked a year ago. He's in better shape. He's kind of reproportioned his body a little bit. So those guys to me look good. So I think Kalia Davis is going to be in for the fight of his life to try to make this roster. Kevin Givens has been a consistent veteran. I think he'll wind up making it. So Elliott, Collins, West, Givens, those four, and Evan Anderson, that's probably five. And maybe Sebastian Valdez goes on the practice squad and Kalia Davis winds up getting cut, something along those lines. But I think CJ West is going to be a starter. I really do. I think, I don't know if it'll be West and Collins. It'll be West and Elliott, West and Givens, West and Anderson. But I'm pretty sure CJ West is going to wind up starting at defensive tackle. And to me, what the guy really has that's exciting is he has both the power in his, he's got tremendous power from the elbow to the fingertip. So he can grab you and then throw guys away at the last second. Tremendous power. So he's really good run defender. And he's not just an A-gap run defender either. If you watch him, he keeps his shoulders squared and he slides. He really does glide somewhat effortlessly through the A and B gaps. And there's a lot of range there for a 6'1", 320-pound defensive tackle to have range. It's kind of rare, but he's got range. He keeps the shoulders squared. He keeps his eyes on the target in the backfield. He doesn't lose sight of the football, and he will slide down the line of scrimmage and make plays. He also has the hand strength to throw guys away and to get into the backfield and make plays there. So I'm a big fan of CJ West. And, the footage that we're showing in this video is probably most of the reason why. But I also just think that this is an old school tough guy. This guy should have been a second-round pick. He went in the fourth round. And to me, he's going to play 10 years in the NFL and be a standout defensive tackle. Of all of the 49er defensive players that they drafted, I think this is the guy that I feel the most confident will have a really good NFL career. Solid against the run, but really quick and has the ability, once he learns how to get off the football with some consistency, to rush the passer. And I think that he's just now starting to realize his potential. And I think, you put him on a good, very strong D-line with a really good coach in Chris Kasarik. And I think you're going to see CJ West develop into a fantastic NFL player. All right, thanks to Mancini's for sponsoring this video. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle for sponsoring The Krug Show. And thanks to all of you guys for supporting The Krug Show on YouTube.